Happy Thanksgiving! Or at my house, Christmas! To me, Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're the same. Like, I get more excited for Christmas, so whenever Thanksgiving's coming, and since all the Christmas stuff is already out, it's like Christmas. So I decorated like a week or two ago, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. I'm going to make my Thanksgiving food today because Steven and I like to have our own Thanksgiving here at home before we go and spend time with the family having Thanksgiving, so I always do that. And then I take all the leftovers with me so that I have something to eat, so it works out perfect. So if you're vegan and you're in the same situation as me, then this might work for you. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm gonna make, because it's probably gonna take the longest, is vegan roast, which is super delicious. But if you have a gluten allergy or celiac disease or something, not gonna work for you because it's made out of pure gluten, pretty much. So that's the first thing I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna set this down right there so that I can use my hands. Here's all the stuff that I'm using for my filling for the roast. We've got apple cider vinegar, mushrooms, vegetable broth, this stuff, salt, thyme, pepper. This is actually garlic that I canned, so you just need garlic, olive oil, and rice. This is my leftover rice. I'm gonna use that. So first things first, gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil in the pan. I don't know how much that is, probably like a tablespoon. I'm one of those people that doesn't measure things, so it's like that. Then we're gonna turn this on to high. And then I'm gonna chop these mushrooms, and I'm gonna use this nice big knife. This is my favorite thing to do. I like to pretend like I'm on a cooking show with Bobby Flay or some such person. But I don't know. I'm gonna chop these up. Doesn't matter. I certainly don't chop like they do. And I may or may not chop off a finger. I cook all the time, I promise, but I've also chopped off the top of my finger many times, so. Then we're gonna just take these and dump them in the pan. Smells really good. But not up close. Oh my. So then I'm just gonna let these cook until they're nice and soft and brown, not white anymore. And this is my favorite spatula. If you don't have a spatula like this, like a nice hefty metal one with a solid wood handle, it's actually like a grilling spatula, that's what it looks like. But totally get one, it's my favorite. It's way better than those plastic ones. I forgot a very important step. If you have hair that's like 7 feet long like me, probably want to put it up. So I'm gonna do that. And just wrap it around in a bun. This isn't a hair tutorial video, but it's a little extra. And back to the food. Next we're gonna pour in about 1/4 cup of the vegetable oil. Or, yeah, vegetable oil. Don't use that. Vegetable broth. Just a little, like I said, 1/4 cup. Oh, I think that was more than 1/4 cup. I didn't realize I was pouring. So then I'm gonna put probably about, let's see. I do everything by eyeballing it. Let's say 2 cups of rice. I'll mix this together. I don't know if any of you struggle with this, but I struggle with being hungry to eat all this delicious food by the time it's time to eat it, whenever I finish it, because I'm tasting it the whole time, and then it's like, ugh, I was really excited to eat this, and then whenever it's time to eat it, I'm already full. And I've only tasted it in like little bits and pieces. So gonna do a couple grinds of this Himalayan pink sea salt, which is super good. I was just watching a clip the other day about how it's stronger so you don't have to use as much, which I thought was really interesting. And so I bought some and I was like, it's true. Because usually I use liquid aminos as my sodium substitute, but I know that this stuff is good for you. So I'm trying it and I like it. Now I'm gonna sprinkle in some thyme, like, let's see, I have probably like a tablespoon, yeah, of dried thyme. So I don't have any fresh thyme at the moment, I don't think. So just using the dried. And then a pinch of pepper, maybe 2 pinches. About a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I have the raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Now I'm going to squish or mince some garlic, some of my canned garlic, which you should try. It makes it really easy to just take out and use, and it also adds like an extra flavor because of the vinegar that it's soaked in, so try it. I'm like putting my head way down here so you can see me. It's not really exciting to watch food talk. Make sure you wash your hands before you cook. Although I must admit, I don't always. I took a full-blown shower this time. We were at the gym this morning, and we usually don't shower till so late. That's why most of my videos I look, let's admit, pretty disgusting. Then I'll just mix that up and it's pretty much done. So now I just need to make the outside. Now moving on to the outside, the actual roast itself. We need vital wheat and gluten, and this part is very vital. And pinto beans, pepper, sage, thyme, olive oil, vegetable broth, liquid aminos, garlic, paprika, fennel, and nutritional yeast. So let's get started on that. I also have this mat thing that I'm going to use because you got to roll it out and stuff like that. So like a Silpat thing, use that. Food processor, which I also love. I'm just going to talk about all the products that I really love. So I'm going to put my pinto beans in here. And 3 cloves of garlic. I am going to measure out my broth. So a cup and a half of the broth, vegetable broth. Then we're going to put in some liquid aminos, like 3 tablespoons. And some olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. Voila! Let us blend. You want to blend it until it's smooth. You do not want a lot of the chunks. Smells good. So like that. We'll pour this lovely mixture. It looks like barf, but it's not, so don't worry. We're gonna use our wheat gluten, 2 cups of this. And I'm gonna put in a little bit of fennel seed, which I just took this knife and chopped it up like so. I'm gonna put that in, otherwise you just have like big chunks of fennel, and I mean unless you like that, it's up to you. Then I'm gonna put in like, let's see, about a teaspoon of paprika. Come on. And then a teaspoon of thyme, which I think is like all the time that I have left in this. And some sage, teaspoon of that. Sage, it smells so good. Then we're gonna put some nutritional yeast, which if you, oh my goodness. Okay, really I can cook. I just don't usually cook with a camera. Let's see, we want about 1/3 of a cup of this. So I'm gonna shake this up and then I'm gonna pause and go clean up. Okay, so that's maybe a little bit more, not about that much. Now it's time to mix it all together. And I'm using my hands because remember, this is like gonna be a dough. It's so weird that like vegan meat substitutes are basically like bread, but it's delicious that way. I'm gonna make sure that it's all really well incorporated. It smells so good. You don't even know right now. Okay, then I'm just gonna take it out of the bowl and put it on my surface here. And if it comes apart, just squish it back together. The other camera cut off, so now I'm actually using better cameras, so enjoy the rest of the show. So I'm gonna take this filling and put it down the center of the roast and try to fit it into the middle. It actually turned out to be a good amount, so that's good. Now I gotta eat it. And of course, like I said, I'm gonna be really full and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna do it anyways. And then I'm going to roll it. So this will be the tricky part, trying to get it to stay together. So I'm just gonna actually use the Silpat that I have to help me. Let's see. I think it worked. Maybe. Just gotta pinch everything together. Then I want to wrap it in foil, so I'm just going to attempt that. Let's see how this goes. So then again, it makes it much easier to have a Silpat. See, look at that! Perfect! Then I'm just gonna take my roast and put it on my cookie sheet and we'll put it in the oven. So into the oven it goes for possibly up to 90 minutes. Then I'm gonna set the oven to 350. Alright then. Step 1, done. Roast is done. This is the happy step 1 done. Oh my goodness, it's 3:20. I started like a really long time ago. Videoing takes so much time. Okay, here we go. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna make is green bean casserole, which is one of my favorite dishes. When I became vegan, I was like, what about the green bean casserole? I mean, I wasn't gonna not become vegan for it, but I really love it. So I'm gonna make a vegan version and you're gonna love it. Here are the different things that you'll need. Mushrooms, of course, green beans, onions, Himalayan salt, almond milk, extra virgin olive oil, gluten-free flour, and liquid aminos, and garlic and pepper, and soaked cashews. I almost forgot about those. So then with my 3 onions, 2 of them I'm going to thinly slice because we're going to use them for the onion rings on the top, which is, you know, like the best part, but they're not Funyuns, which I know a lot of people like those things, but I mean, I'm just not that big of a fan. So then I'm just gonna break up the onions so that they're separated from each other. Then we're gonna open up the gluten-free flour, which today is just really ironic since we're having a roast made out of gluten. But whatever. I usually cook gluten-free. So then I'm just gonna, oh that's bright, oil up my pan. Probably a good bit of oil. And then I'm gonna drop in my onions. So then I went ahead and just chopped up the 3rd onion. I just diced it, and we're gonna put it in this other pan with some olive oil and just dump those in and let them cook until they, you know, get translucent and soft. Now I went ahead and just chopped up some garlic, and I'm gonna put that in as well. Just cook those 2 together so they smell delicious. And then I have mushrooms that I chopped up. These are 2 8-ounce packages of mushrooms. These are just white mushrooms. Then I'm gonna take the gluten-free flour and pour it over the mushroom and onion just to coat it so that it like takes up all the liquid and it just becomes like this really dry mixture. Then I'm gonna add in some liquid aminos, probably like 2 tablespoons, and then some pepper. I used to just whenever I was a kid, I would use pepper. I didn't think it tasted like anything. I would just put pepper on things because I thought it looked pretty. And somehow I didn't ever taste it. I don't know how, but I like pepper. Pepper's good. So then into the blender, I'm gonna put the soaked cashews and about half a cup of almond milk. Now we're gonna blend it into a smooth mixture. Then we'll take the milk and cashew cream, pour it on top to rehydrate it. These are the delicious crispy onions that will be going on top. It looks so good. Then I'm gonna open up the green beans, pour them into the Corningware or whatever you cut. I'm actually just gonna pop these in the microwave real quick so that they're thawed a little. So I just put them in the microwave for like 4 minutes so that they're not frosted anymore, at least most of them. So now we're just gonna put on the cream topping. Yep, I just used my sleeves up as pot water. Next I'm doing my sweet potatoes. I have regular sweet potatoes and blue sweet potatoes, or red sweet potatoes, whatever they are. So I already peeled my potatoes. I have 6 regular sweet potatoes, and I have 2 really big of the purple sweet potatoes. So I don't know if you have one of these magical microwave bags, but I'm going to use this first to make them soft so that I can cut them up a little bit so that they don't take so long to cook. So if you've ever tried to cut sweet potatoes before, it's like cutting a squash. It's difficult. Here are the things you'll need for the sweet potatoes. You'll need, of course, sweet potatoes. We've got blue and regular, or purple and regular, whatever it is, and then raw pecans, pieces, coconut sugar, and coconut flakes. So now once the sweet potatoes are kind of soft, I'm going to take them out and chop them into chunks. Top it with some coconut sugar. Yum. And then just like smoosh it around in there. Make sure that it all gets coated in a little bit of this. Then we're going to add some raw pecans. Then some shredded coconut. And then we're going to put it in the oven with everything else. For the stuffing, you'll need Ezekiel bread, celery, 2 onions, vegetable broth, rosemary, sage, salt, I have some thyme in there, some vegan Earth Balance butter, and some black pepper. We need 2 cups of celery for this. So then I'm gonna dump the celery into a frying pan that I'm going to be sauteing in once I get these onions chopped up. So then I have 2 onions that I'm chopping up as well. And I'm going to add in my spices. I need about a tablespoon of rosemary. I love rosemary. I love the smell of rosemary. I love to eat rosemary. Now you know. And a tablespoon of sage. This one also smells delicious. It makes me want pot pies most of the time. A couple pinches of pepper and some salt. A couple shakes of that, or grinds, or whatever you want to call it, and then some thyme. That's not the right one. I chopped it up and put it in here because I got it from outside of my garden because I found that I did have some. Then I'm gonna put some butter, like several tablespoons of butter. Several tablespoons of butter into the pan. We're gonna saute all this together and it's gonna be delicious. And I'm gonna use Ezekiel bread for my stuffing because it's a really good bread. It's made with sprouted, oh my goodness, I'm gonna do like 1 slice at a time. Sprouted grains and seeds and stuff. So then I forgot to turn the cameras back on, but this is the delicious stuffing. I added the onions and the celery mixture, put that on top, and whoop, let's focus. There we have it, deliciousness. Oh, I also put in the vegetable broth just till the bread is like slightly wet. Now I'm gonna cover it with foil and we'll put it in the oven. And then I just made this gravy with vegetable broth, gluten-free flour, a little bit of rosemary, liquid aminos, sage, and parsley. Potatoes. That's what I'm making. I got distracted and so I stopped videoing. But for the potatoes, I put them in the potato bag because they cook a lot faster. And then I put them in here with milk, and you just mix in milk until it makes creamy smooth potatoes. And then I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of liquid aminos in here, and it should be good. And the great thing is you don't have to peel them, you just put them straight in. It's like really good. So now this is the vegan feast. It's finished. have the vegan roast with the gravy, stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, and the green bean casserole. And we're gonna eat it because we're really hungry now and it's like 3 hours past our normal eating time. So let's eat.